What's up, YouTube viewers? My name is Dion, and I just wanted to make a video talking about my entrance into the trucking world. So, just to start off, I want to say 2 weeks ago, I passed my, well, not 2 weeks yet, almost 2 weeks. I passed my CDL exam, so just got my CDL fresh off the boat, fresh into the door of the CDL world. I went to a private school, not private in the sense, but I didn't go to like a sponsored program. Paid for it, 6-week program. I'm down here in South Florida. School I went to was Fleet Master in Pompano. Shout out to them, really good school. Shout out to T.O., the instructor. So yeah, I got my CDL just almost 2 weeks ago. About to take on a new journey, heading into the CDL world. I currently do personal training. I've been doing that for a long time. I've done other stuff too, don't get me wrong, but like personal training is more so of the passion, is what I like to do. And anyone else that has done personal training or is doing personal training can tell you that there's a lot of highs and lows in personal training. Not really consistent for the most part. There are a lot of good times, but then there's times where you just question why you even stick with it. So after years of that, I decided, I tried some other stuff, but I eventually landed into the CDL world after having a bunch of friends that have done it, and just feeling like that's something that I can do, make a career out of, and potentially still at some point circle back to personal training. Or if I get a local job, maybe I can still do it on the side. We'll see. But just wanted to drop a little bit of where I started to where I am now. So when it came to getting my CDL permit, I failed the general knowledge the first time. Excuse me. Yeah, I failed the general knowledge portion the first time at the DMV. Had to go back, take the general knowledge, and then the air brakes and combination. But the general knowledge, definitely the hardest part. The air brakes and combination, I studied, don't get me wrong, but there's less than half, I want to say half the questions, half as many questions as are on the general knowledge. And questions are pretty easy. There's one YouTube channel that I looked at their videos, and the questions were basically spot on from their video and the questions at the DMV. I'll probably make a more in-depth video concerning getting my permit, but just wanted to put that out there. Now also, I did the program for my CDL was 6 weeks. I went to take my exam at the end of my 7th week. As you all know, or maybe you don't know, there's 3 parts to the CDL exam: the pre-trip inspection, the skills test, and then the on-the-road driving. So for me, like things dealing with memorization and just kind of reciting things, I'm pretty good at that. So the pre-trip, I breezed through it like nothing. I won't say it was easy, but once I got going, I did my air brake check, my leak check, got out of the cab, went on to the rest of the vehicle, did that, flying colors. Went to the skills test. You have the forward stop, we have the stop in the box, then you have the straight back, then you have the forward offset and the reverse offset. Forward stop, got it in the box. Straight back, nailed it. Forward offset, nailed it. I had 0 points going into my reverse offset, and I got into a fucked up angle and literally got all 9 points in the reverse offset, trying to pull forward, hitting the line. I guess I got nervous, I don't know. So I failed it. my first time taking the CDL exam, I failed it on the reverse offset at the last maneuver with no points. I got all my points and failed it right there. Told to get out the truck. I was really sad. And what was the really, I don't want to say messed up, but it was, you know, it was just, it added a little bit more weight because my instructor, he drove the truck up to the testing site and he was leaving the truck up there for another student that was testing maybe an hour or two after me. So he asked me to drive him back to the school, and he was going to drive, I guess, his car back up there or something, I don't know. So I had to drive him back to the school after failing. And so you can imagine now, also, this was maybe an hour ride because I'm in like Fort Lauderdale area. The testing facility was in Belglade, which is Palm Beach. If anybody watching is familiar with Florida, South Florida, so it's about an hour away. So I had to drive him to the school, and that was a long ass ride of just me bitching about how I fucked up. And, you know, trying to figure out where I went wrong with the offset, and him trying to tell me what he saw, what I did wrong, and how I got caught up in that bad angle. Anyway, so that was a Friday. I rescheduled it for that following Thursday, and it was an extra $450 that I had to pay for that. So I took the weekend off. I just kind of relaxed. I did some things, you know, I didn't really focus on the truck so much, on trucking at all. I just took that weekend to try to relax my mind, de-stress. Went to class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday a little early, got some personal lessons. All I really did was focus on the offset, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, focused on it by myself in the truck. Went there Thursday morning. I didn't have to do the pre-trip again because once whatever section you pass, you don't have to do that again. So I started with the maneuvers. I did my forward stop, and this time I passed the box. So I started out with 5 points. Off rip, started out with 5 points. I was like, man, this is just great. This is just the best way. Of course, I would start out now even worse than I did when I first took the test. I was like, all right, I'm not even gonna sweat it. I know for a fact I can straight line back with no problem, especially going very slow. And the forward offset is no problem. I'm just gonna have to make sure I don't screw up on the reverse offset. I do my straight backing, no problem. Forward offset, no problem. I get out, the lady's explaining to me the instructions for the reverse offset. And I'm sitting there like, all right, I got 5 points. I have to not get another 4 points. Somehow, even if I have to pull up more times than you know, because you get 2 free pull-ups. Even if I have to pull up like 4 times, I just can't pull up too many times. I get in the vehicle. Now, the first time that I messed up on my reverse offset, what happened is, you know, you're backing up, you get to the cone, you do the big left. Well, yeah, because you're starting on this side. You do your big left to swing the trailer to the right, and then you do your big right to put the tractor under the trailer again so you can see the cones and do what you have to do. So during those first offsets, I could never see all 3 cones. There's 3 cones. I could only see the last 2, so I didn't have enough of an angle. I did a big left and big right. Couldn't see the cone, another big left, big right, couldn't see the cone, another big left, big right, still couldn't see the cone. And by then I felt like I was too close to the cone, so I pulled forward, did a huge left. At that point, I could see the cone, but the trailer was facing way too much to the right. So then I had to pull forward again, and you know, I ended up getting it in there, but I screwed it up. So this time I did a bigger left turn, big right turn. I could see all 3 cones, but I had too much angle to the right again with the trailer. So what I did, I pulled forward. No, sorry, that was the first time. This second time, what I did was, instead of pulling forward, I went on and turned the wheel to the right to start swinging the trailer into the left, looking at my mirror on the right side just to see how close I could get to that cone or the line on the right side. Once I felt like I was close enough, I pulled forward out of the alley, the cone box, the cone rectangle, pulled forward and then swung to the left to put the tractor under the trailer. And when I got straight, I had the perfect angle. I mean, I could see all three cones, and I was in such a beautiful angle that I knew I could not mess it up. I said, this is what I needed. And right there, I eased it on it so good. I actually only used one pull-up, backed it in, and I was also having an issue with knowing when to swing the trailer in and then chase the trailer with the tractor. So, but I had those 3 days of practice. So by the time, I got to the test, I had kind of not mastered it, but I was comfortable with it. So, I came back, swung it in, and then chased the trailer. I got really close to the left cone, and when I got inside the box, I was perfect, backed it on in. One pull up, and then I used my 2 get out and looks, because when I stopped the truck at the box in the back, the back bumper was like right on the line. Got in, backed it up just a little bit, used my second get out, looked at it, it was square in the middle, walked back to the truck. Listen, that walk back to the truck, I was walking with my chest out. I was like, I did it. Walked back to the truck, head high, set my brakes, bah. Yes, so anyhow, then there was the road test, and the road test, I did well on that, well enough. Made a mistake, a few mistakes, but the most important mistake I did not make was I didn't hit a curb with the trailer. Didn't go too fast. I was watching all my street signs, and did well, made wide turns, all that kind of stuff. So now here I am. We got back to the school, and the lady examiner, she said, "Oh, let me tally up your points." Then she said, "Congratulations." I was, yes. So I passed it. So now here I am. I am getting ready to. I haven't actually started applying for jobs yet. Just because a few things, like I have my birthday is coming up, and I have some plans, and I don't want a new job to interfere with that. It's maybe like 2 weeks from now or so. But also, I didn't really have anything lined up. The jobs that the instructor has that he could refer us to, they're pretty far away. I was kind of hoping to stay local initially. I'm gonna give it until maybe the middle of December. And by the time that time comes, if I don't see any doors opening or anything like that, then I'll probably just try and see what I can get from him on his end, because I'm okay with going over the road. I just would rather stay local if I can. That way I can still focus on some stuff with training and just be a little bit more comfortable being here at home. South Florida, I mean, it's nice down here. I am not really looking forward to traveling to places like North Dakota, Wisconsin, Wyoming, all that. South Florida, it's nice down here. We got everything, and there's a lot of jobs down here, but there are a lot of people with the CDL. Now, one thing I will say is that South Florida, some of the schools down here have in the past, and maybe still presently, they have put out students that were not prepared for the road. There has been allegations, and maybe even there's some proof of it, of students just outright buying the CDL or being passed when they were not prepared, and causing all sorts of chaotic accidents all throughout the country. So I've heard a lot of people. I had actually one student that had already graduated. He was back just helping out some of us. He was saying that he was having trouble finding work because a lot of companies were saying they don't hire from South Florida because, maybe things that they've heard about students that come from South Florida. So, I'm prepared for that. Also, obviously, everyone knows that being a new driver, especially if you don't go to one of those like big company sponsored programs where they have a job waiting for you, you have to try to figure out how you're going to get your first year of experience before other companies want to hire you, mostly for insurance reasons. So I'm prepared for that too. That's why I said, worst comes to worst, I don't mind going over the road and getting that time under my belt. And who knows, I might like it. You never know. But that's my story for right now. And I'm going to continue to drop videos about trucking, about everything. I'm just going to really try to turn up on this YouTube and see what I can make of it, see what I can do with my channel, see how many people engage with me, want to listen to me, want to comment, have any sort of things that they want me to talk about related to the CDL, or have any sort of guidance or advice. I'm open to all of that. I appreciate it. So once again, my name is Dion. Thank you for coming to my channel, and I will be back soon with another video.